Three, two, one.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, February 14th, 2020. Bitcoin on the weekly chart. I'm not sure it could set up any better. I'm not sure it could look any more bullish. And if you know me, you know I don't like to really overhype things too much. We look at the upside, we look at the downside. We kind of go at these markets from a very fair, level-headed perspective. But when I find these new data points, it's hard for me not to see the bullishness in Bitcoin. And I'm talking about Bitcoin looking weeks away now from truly entering aggressively into this next bull market, perhaps a little earlier than we've been anticipating for the last year or two, we could say. Let's jump into the charts. Let's talk about this. I want to go back to really share these data points with you. And it's very simple. I want to go back to the last cycle. We've been likening this area in 2016 to where Bitcoin is now in 2020. Now, if we look at this area, there's two key areas I want to look at, and we're going to compare 2016 to 2020 once again, but we're digging in even further. Let's take our Fibonacci retracement. I talk about this all the time because it is the most valuable piece of data that we have in terms of the timing of Bitcoin entering the bull market. It's that 618 to 786 Fibonacci retracement resistance. That's Bitcoin hitting that resistance right before the last halving, coming back down, and then finally breaking through again. Now, I'm going to dig in even further here. Let's get rid of that Fibonacci retracement. That is this top rectangle, the entry to the bull market. And I want to plot something else, a shorter term Fibonacci. So we hit that Fibonacci resistance and we came back down, right? We hit resistance again at the Fibonacci area, and we have a second smaller, shorter term Fibonacci area, this second rectangle right here. And Bitcoin, remember we likened Bitcoin where it's trading now to this area right now. Bitcoin broke through that Fibonacci resistance, confluent with this longer term trend line, and made its way into the longer term bull market doors, this Fibonacci resistance up here. There are two Fibonacci resistance that Bitcoin broke, and we're at a very similar timing of the market cycle right now in terms of Bitcoin. And the last piece of data I want to plot on this chart before going to current charts is this, the price range difference of these two resistance areas, right around 8 to 9%. It's such a crucial area, right? It doesn't look like much when you're zoomed out on the charts, but these two Fibonacci retracement resistance areas were huge for Bitcoin to break back then. Now, I want to go to where we are now, and I want to chart exactly the same thing. We see so many similarities in these cycles for Bitcoin. Let's take the Fibonacci retracement once again, right, to the bull market high, bear market low. We have our two Fibonacci retracements. I'm going to just plot on the screen here for you. There's our one, the top one, the big one, the bull market doors, right? We have that one plotted. Now let's go to our swing high where we saw that resistance for the first time at that Fibonacci. Let's take it from swing high to swing low, similar to what we did in 2016. Let me zoom in on the charts a little bit. And we have our two areas, our two key Fibonacci retracement resistance areas, exactly charted exactly like the last 2016 cycle. And you can see this Fibonacci retracement even confluent with this longer term trend line. If we take a snapshot back at 2016, look at that. The smaller Fibonacci retracement resistance confluent with this longer term trend line. Bitcoin approaching exactly the area that it was in October or so, 2016. We are approaching this area right now. This is important, everybody. We can talk about the bullishness if Bitcoin breaks through this area, but we also have to consider the possibility that Bitcoin doesn't do what it did last time and Bitcoin actually sees resistance at that area. I hate to say it, but it's possible, right? Bitcoin doesn't have to harmoniously do exactly what it did in that last cycle. It could do something different. We can bounce off this area and come back down to $6,500. I do not know, but the data shows if Bitcoin continues through these two areas and through these two Fibonacci retracements, the 618, 786 resistance areas, Bitcoin could be very close even to breaking $20,000 all-time high. The reason I say that is because when Bitcoin made this move in the matter of months, Bitcoin broke its recent all-time high of $1,000 going through that move. It can happen quick, everybody. I'm sure most people weren't anticipating going from, this wick down in the 400s to breaking $1,000 in this time period, but it happened. And similarly, it can happen again. Now, the last data point, I do want to show you the similarities once again. Remember the difference between these two Fibonacci's back in 2016, 8 to 9%. Right now, we're 9 to 10%. The difference between these two Fibonacci retracement areas, incredibly similar right now. Bitcoin making moves. Now, if we go to the daily chart, one thing is true on the daily chart. Bitcoin's looking bullish, getting set up for this 50 moving average cross above the 200 moving average. It's happening now. Here's on the daily chart, zoomed in, the upper trend line. We are getting close, everybody. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to happen, but the charts could not look any more bullish in terms of historical data that we have. We use this historical data to anticipate the upside and downside. This is the upside potential for Bitcoin. These two resistance areas being broken in a continued uptrend for Bitcoin right now is 100% possible. And it's on the charts. You see what it could look like. You see how quick it could happen. I hope you all have been preparing for a scenario like this. And I just encourage you also to prepare for a scenario where we see resistance, where we enter a short-term pullback. It can happen, everyone. This video isn't talking about that bearish scenario, but I just want to let you know. Put it in the back of your mind. Put it in your subconscious. It could happen. Bitcoin can pull back. But right now, Bitcoin charts looking very strong. And we'll see what happens next. I really want to know what you think is going to happen next. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're here and you're not a subscriber, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. It means a lot. Hit the like button on your way out. I really appreciate you coming by today. I hope you enjoy these gains we're seeing in the crypto markets. I will see you in the next video. Have a good day and God bless.